watching Numbskull News, and today we're in spooky season out here in Numbskull Newsland, and there's some people in the Big Ten getting a little spooked. The USC Trojans and the Michigan Wolverines. As I went into with my last video, they are opposing this capital investment by UC Investments into the Big Ten, $2.4 billion, poof, to the wind because of them two. The other 16 members are fully on board, and Ross Dillinger has been on top of it. This is his latest post about this crap. I'm going to show that to you now. 10 minutes ago, the Big Ten presidents say in a statement that they will continue to hold the conversations over the capital investment proposal. The league's presidents and ADs held a call this evening. Michigan and USC pushing back against the deal. So here's what they say right here. Over a year ago, I can't do that. Over a year ago, we instructed the conference to undertake a comprehensive process alongside our members to innovate for the future and extend the conference's legacy of academic and athletic excellence. The Big Ten remains committed to modernizing the operations of our conference, strengthening conference stability, preserving Olympic and women's sports, and enhancing the student-athlete experience. The conference has provided an option from a non-profit partner, not private equity. Michigan, dumbass Acker, regent on the board of regents for the University of Michigan, that meets those objectives. Ultimately, it is the decision of the Big Ten member institutions, presidents and chancellors, to decide if it's the right opportunity, and those conversations are ongoing. They're not giving up on it, folks. Now, let's go to this article Ross Dillinger dropped not that long ago. And the guy Acker I was talking about, he's on the board of regents of the University of Michigan. The Big Ten does not need to be sold to save college sports. My God. They're not talking about selling the Big Ten. What an idiot. It needs to lead to save college sports. We can't cry poverty while spending tens of millions on buyouts. What the hell? We can't have college sports, the collegiate experience, dictated by private equity. As that press release from the Big Ten stated, it's a non-profit pension fund. It's not private equity. So this guy Acker, he's either an idiot or he's a liar. That's the truth of it. He's either an idiot or a liar. Now, why is this important for the Big Ten? It says right here. For more than 15 months, the Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti and his executives have worked to amass a plan that they believe addresses four main priorities from their membership. Long-term stability, the creation of a privatized business entity to better monetize the league's assets, immediate cash at a financial stressful time, and the establishment of uneven revenue distributions, keeping the big brands happy. The conference likely has alternative financing models and contingency plans, but it's unclear if it will immediately pivot or try to adjust the UC Investments deal to appease the two detractors. And here's something that's really interesting. Since a story was published Tuesday by Yahoo Sports about USC and Michigan's issues, officials from the 16 supporting schools, most notably Ohio State, have reached out to those at Michigan and USC in an effort to encourage them to support the measure. The lobbying effort has seemed to fail. So what does all that mean? It means USC and Michigan doesn't want to play ball with the other 16. All the reasons they're giving are bunk. All right? We don't want to sell the conference. You're not selling the conference. We can't leave it in the hands of private equity. It's not private equity, you pecker. What it is It's a cash infusion from a capital investor, nonprofit capital investment. So they don't want to play ball. Now, what's being reported is the biggest reason, detraction, what they don't like, absolutely will not stand for at USC and the University of Michigan. They don't want an extension of the grant of rights. And if you don't want an extension of the grant of rights, then you're not really for protecting and preserving the Big Ten, are you? Because you can't be. Because you can't be. Folks, like I said in my previous video, this is about leaving options open for a possible Super League, a Project Rudy type of deal. The reason I bring up Project Rudy, they've talked about $200 million per school for the top tier schools, in which USC and Michigan would be a part of that. They want to have an option for that big money play down the road. There's plenty of private equity, capital investments and stuff like that out there. We're seeing this one here, which is massive from UC Investments. But it's not good enough. Not for them too. Now, it's a conspiracy theory because you have to ask yourself, why not extend the grant of rights? Michigan, USC, are you going to go somewhere? Are you going to go somewhere? Is there somewhere to go? That's the issue. The loyalty. That's a sticking point. This is one of the big two conferences. The richest conference in all of America. In all of college football. And basketball. And baseball. And Olympic sports. It's the Big Ten. It's the Big Ten. So where are they going to go? There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. Except for a giant Super League. That's the only place to go. What does the Big Ten need to do? Address the loyalty. If you got 16 teams, including Ohio State and Penn State, including Nebraska, Oregon, and Washington, massive brands in their own right. Ohio State, that may be the biggest brand in all of college football is the Buckeyes. I understand Michigan's huge. I don't know. For me, I think the Buckeyes are just a bigger deal. Not that much bigger than Michigan or Alabama. All right, but right there. I think a smidge. But enough that I would say they are the biggest deal in college football, in college sports. So if you have those 16, that includes those huge brands. Come together. Sign a grant of rights. Extend the grant of rights to 2046 for those 16 schools. USC, you ain't got to do shit. Michigan, you ain't got to do shit. We're going to do it. Because what does that do? What does that do? If there is any nefarious crap from USC and Michigan about, and like the reasons why they don't want to sign a grant of rights past 2036 has to do with a possible Super League or formation thereof around that year of 2036, it destroys that. Because you're not going to be able to maximize the profits of a Super League without Ohio State, without Oregon, without Penn State, without Washington, without Nebraska. It doesn't work. They're too big of brands with too many ratings, followers, alumni, fans. You can't do it. How do you form a Super League at the top shelf level without Ohio State? You don't. You don't. Even if you try to do it without Ohio State and the rest of those brands, you're not going to be able to maximize your dollar amount. In other words, if you thought the $200 million was a reality, it's not. At the top tier level brand of Project Rudy, it's not. Because you need what Ohio State, the power, the draw of Ohio State. Without it, it doesn't work. Without Penn State, it doesn't work. And yes, Oregon, Washington, and Nebraska, it doesn't work. So if these 16 of the Big Ten are really serious about protecting and preserving the Big Ten long term and being part of it long term, extend the grant of rights. You don't need a capital investment. You don't need a private equity deal or anything else. You don't need any third party money to extend those rights. Remember, it's not about the media rights. The media rights are over in 2030 for the current deal of the Big Ten. But their grant of rights goes to 2036. It's a separate thing. It's handled separately within the Big Ten. So go ahead and extend it another 10 years for those 16. Don't tie it to any kind of investment and then see what they do. Do they sign up for that? Or, because look, if USC and Michigan says, okay, we'll sign till 2046, we just don't want this UC deal. Well, then it's not about the grant of rights. And it's not about a Project Rudy or any other Super League kind of bullshit. It's about they have a problem with taking on a partner. They have a problem with the Big Ten taking on any kind of partner. That's a separate issue, and that's fine. That's fair. Let me be fair to USC. Let me be fair to Michigan. That is a fair worry if you just don't like having that partner who's going to get a 10% cut. I understand that. Or if USC is worried about not getting the same kind of payouts that Ohio State or Michigan or Penn State would get, I understand that. That is a valid worry. Or if they just don't like the idea of unequal revenue sharing at all in the Big Ten, that is fair. I think it's bullshit too. I'm not even a Big Ten fan, and I think it's bullshit. So, all of that's fair. But you make sure that the grant of rights is not tied to any of that. Don't bundle it in with that. Just a separate issue. Hey, us 16, we're signing an extension to 2046. Because, yeah, it is a wild and crazy world. Guess what? We're going to have stability for the next 20 years. That's what we're about. So, sign up or tear your ass in 2036, Michigan. Sign up or tear your ass, USC Trojans. Goodbye. Good luck with independence. Just because Notre Dame does it, doesn't mean you're Notre Dame. They've been doing it for over a century of independence. Decade after decade of working out the kinks and maximizing their dollars, having to play everywhere, going wherever across the country, New York, LA, you name it, to grow their brand so they can become worth enough money to where they don't need help from a conference. Just because they did it and made it look easy, I guarantee you it wasn't. Doesn't mean Michigan and USC can pull off the same shit. Period. End of story. And if and it sounds like the rest of the 16 of the Big Ten, they're kind of pissed. There's a lot of people pushing for, hey, let's work something else out with UC investments. All right. We can't do the back half, the 10 years of Michigan and USC. We'll have to cut that out. Let's see what that money looks like. Let's see if UC investments is still interested. I bet they would still be interested. Because they'll have till 2036, all right, to have money from Michigan and USC games coming on in. And then if you completely negate a Super League because you're good through 2046, well, guess what? Then at that point, USC and Michigan might go ahead and sign up. Because you do a deal with UC Investments that, hey, if they do go ahead and sign and extend past 2036, even if it's in the year of our Lord 2036 and they do it, because they don't want to leave the Big Ten because screw independence and they ain't getting into the SEC because the SEC doesn't want to expand that damn far, then you have a deal with UC to cover the money when they do sign. So then that'll make everything whole. It wouldn't be hard to do. And I'm sure they can get that done. I am sure they can get that done. And this same crap happened to the Big 12, where a handful of schools said no to private equity. Really, these other schools had no recourse. You couldn't just bind together, extend your grant of rights, and then go get a private capital equity deal or whatever without those schools. It just doesn't work the same. Those 16 of the Big 10 absolutely can and should. And I fully expect them to. The audacity of USC, that's the one that really kind of confounds me. I mean, the Big 10 gave you a lifeline. Yeah, they let you win because they know they can make a lot of money off you, but they don't need you. USC needed the Big 10, not the other way around. USC called the Big 10, not the other way around. Now you're going to show disloyalty, and that's exactly what that is. I don't give a damn what anyone says. That's why I say if you want to really prove it, just extend the grant of rights. No private equity deal, no private capital investment, nothing else. Just the grant of rights. And if they won't do it, then we know it's the grant of rights. So, Big 10, you 16 loyalists, extend your grant of rights. Before getting any deal done, go ahead and extend it. See what they do. Stand on your word. If that's what it's about for you, stability, that'll make you stable. So sign up and do it. That's what I want to see. We'll see if it happens. Anyway, thanks for watching Numbskull News. Thanks for watching this crap. And I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.